That max payload figure is one of several segment best figures Ford is very happy to bring to our attention. It's achieved with an F350 with the regular cab, dual rear wheels, rear-wheel drive, and a gas V8. Ford also claims a best for gooseneck towing among heavy duties, with a 32,500 pound max with the F450 pickup, which is only offered as a dual rear-wheel 4x4 with the Power Stroke diesel. The F350 isn't far behind with a 32,000 pound rating when equipped with the diesel and dual rear wheels. Both numbers beat the Ram 3500's 31,210 pound gooseneck rating, and we're sure that's no coincidence. The aluminum body was more of a means to an end this time around, and the company makes less of a fuss about these trucks weighing less, up to 350 pounds is the claim, than it did when the F150, which lost as many as 700 pounds, went aluminum. Instead, Ford reps point to the increased capability of the new Super Duties. Some of the reclaimed weight went to making the trucks bigger. A reinforced frame with a longer wheelbase equals more weight. Larger cabs? More weight, at least relatively speaking, since they are now aluminum. More features, more weight. Beefier suspension parts and axles on certain models, yeah, they add weight. But what they also add is the measurables that bring bragging rights. One very useful feature that works to hide some of that size and heft is the optional adaptive steering. It's similar to the system first offered on the Ford Edge. A gear set and small electric motor are nestled in the steering wheel and can add, or subtract, steering angle relative to what you put in. At low speeds, it adds a lot, making parking lot maneuvers less of a chore. At highway speeds, it adds less, and only once you've left dead center, which avoids a twitchy or over-boosted feeling. When you have the truck in tow, haul mode, the system removes some steering angle, slowing your inputs to keep everything moving smoothly. It works incredibly seamlessly, to the point that you really can't tell anything is different unless you pay attention to how little work you are putting in and how few rotations the steering wheel requires. We drove similar vehicles with and without the system back-to-back to reinforce this conclusion. Adaptive steering is a huge help on twisty roads, making it almost chuckable and giving the feeling of a truck that's smaller than it is. Okay, less big. If you're wondering why the Super Duty pickups don't get the park assist and lane keeping systems from the F150, it's because the bigger trucks still use hydraulic assist steering, electric power steering systems, required to implement steering-related functions, can't cope with the massive front-end loads of the heavy-duty trucks. Even without the adaptive gizmo, the Super Duty steering feels more connected, like it's actually responsible for where the truck goes, not just there to suggest a direction. It's not over-boosted anymore and centers itself nicely. We'd still recommend a relatively small investment, $650 standalone or included in some packages, to get adaptive steering, as it makes all types of driving that much more pleasant. There's more output from both available engines. Chassis cab customers get a third option, the somehow not dead yet 6.8-liter gas V10. The 6.2-liter gas V8 now makes 385 horsepower and 430 pound-feet of torque, and it's backed by a new version of the Torque Shift 6-speed automatic transmission that gets its own set of gear ratios instead of having to share the same ones with the diesel. We drove a truck with that engine briefly on an off-road course, so no real insights to share other than it felt plenty responsive in the low end.